Their shields never broke. For centuries, they stood as the unbreakable wall between the core systems and the void, a species of crystalline tacticians whose defense fields defied physics, whose fleets shimmered with cold geometry and utter confidence. No weapon, no warhead, no quantum barrage ever passed their barrier. Empires rose and fell against their glimmering edge, all crushed not by force, but futility. They were the Scifi, beings of light-bonded lattice and pure logic. They watched with distant fascination as humanity crawled into space, still nursing our wounds from earthbound conflicts. We were loud. We were unpredictable. We were dismissed. Until we weren't. Our colonies expanded with stubborn hope. Our technology, though patchwork and imperfect, grew clever. We refused to conquer, refused to kneel, and in that refusal, made ourselves known. When the Scifi finally noticed us, it was not out of admiration but caution. They sent emissaries in silence, their words wrapped in mathematics, their expressions unreadable. We sent poetry, music, sketches on parchment, laughing children speaking to stars. They didn't understand, and so they raised their shields and drew a line, not out of anger, but preemptive inevitability. We were volatile. We must be quarantined, contained, held at distance behind barriers of shimmering perfection. We didn't strike, not with fire. We sent explorers, caregivers, dreamers, not warriors. And that was the beginning. A single human ship broke down near one of their outer sentinels. Standard protocol demanded that the Scifi ignore distress signals from unverified species, a cruel efficiency. But one among them, a lower caste observer named Viral, listened. He listened to the voice of the human aboard, a woman named Ava, as she calmly read old Earth stories into the void, fully aware no one was supposed to hear. Night after night, her voice drifted across frequencies not meant to penetrate shields. But something in it did. The shield around Viral's post flickered once. Then again. Not from damage, from resonance. Curious, he answered. One word, encoded. Ava laughed. And laughed again. Then asked his name. That was the first crack. In time they spoke more. She told him of snow. Of holding someone's hand just to say, I'm here. Of her grandmother's bread, and the ache of wanting to belong. He told her of lattice code, of purity mandates, of the loneliness beneath unbreakable armor. Back home, Viral's transmission logs were reviewed. He was recalled, questioned, but the words had already slipped through, to others who had heard Ava's voice and, unknowingly, longed for it. Soon, other Scifi requested human transmissions. For analysis, they claimed, but the requests grew stranger. A song here, a recording of rain, a photograph of Earth's sunrise taken from the sea. The shields, unchanged in material, began to fluctuate. Not from attack, from connection. Entire Scifi constructs began tuning themselves to frequencies they once silenced. Across sectors, encrypted messages passed in rhythms not unlike heartbeat. Crystalline minds began sculpting expressions, imperfect and asymmetrical, like laughter. And when war finally did come, from a third species, brutal and without warning, humanity stood ready to fight. But so did the Scifi. Not as walls, but as partners. They opened their shields, let our ships through, let our soldiers shelter beside them. After the war, the Council of Stars met for the first time, and a Scifi representative, wearing a hand-woven human sash, asked Ava to speak the opening words. She did. No weapons, no strategy, just a poem. No one ever found the moment their shields broke. But everyone remembers the first time they let us in. Not because of force. Because of love, whispered softly, steadily, through the cracks they never knew they had.